All right, let's dive into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to unpack a deeply moving story about something we're literally losing right before our eyes in this modern world. We're talking about the art of preserving genuine human connection. Seriously, we're going to look at the life of a man who serves as a literal bridge between human hearts, armed with absolutely nothing but a pen and some paper. So I want you to think about this for just a second. When was the last time you received a truly personal, handwritten letter? And no, I don't mean a quick text message, not a super fast email or a little digital emoji, but a physical, tangible piece of paper that someone actually took the time to sit down, write, and mail directly to you. In our hyper-connected reality, that physical proof of someone's undivided attention has become incredibly rare. And that massive shift in how we communicate, well, that's exactly what makes the subject of our explainer today so absolutely vital.
Section 1. The Last Letter Writer, 68-year-old Yusuf's Wooden Desk.
So, picture the heart of an old city. Tucked right away in the bustling streets is Yusuf. He's 68 years old, and he just sits quietly behind this small wooden desk, completely surrounded by the physical artifacts of memory. We're talking stacks of paper, crisp envelopes, and fading photographs. It's this really nostalgic, almost time capsule-like setting. And there is one absolutely crucial number that defines his life right now, and that's 40. For over 40 years, Yusuf has earned his living doing something incredibly specific and, honestly, increasingly rare. To put that into perspective for you, while the rest of the world sends roughly 23 billion instantaneous text messages every single day, Yusuf has spent 4 deliberate decades being the voice, the hand, and the messenger for strangers who literally have no other way to put their feelings into words.
Now you might be wondering, what exactly is he writing? Well, every single day, complete strangers come up to Yusuf and just lay their souls bare right on his small wooden desk. They bring him these incredibly profound, deeply personal stories. They bring him tales of love, desperate apologies, quiet hopes, and just devastating heartbreak. Yusuf's job isn't just to act like a human printer and write down words, right? He carefully listens to the emotion behind them and translates those raw feelings into beautiful handwriting. He takes these invisible human emotions and turns them into physical letters that are going to travel across entire cities and countries. It's like a giant puzzle of human connection.
Section 2. Ink versus digital screens, the changing times.
Of course, a 40-year career doesn't just exist in a vacuum, right? The world has drastically changed around Yusuf's small shop. Today, he's facing immense pressure. Mobile phones and instant messaging basically mean fewer customers, and a lot of people are urging him to just pack it in and retire. But Yusuf? No way. He flat out refuses to quit. He stands completely firm in his belief that a handwritten letter carries a literal piece of the human heart. It delivers this tangible, emotional weight that the cold efficiency of modern technology simply cannot replicate, no matter how hard it tries.
Section 3. A Letter for a Son. The Power of Intentional Connection.
To truly understand Yusuf's stubborn dedication to his craft, I want you to picture this specific afternoon. The door to his shop opens, and in walks a grandmother accompanied by her young, really observant grandson. She sits down, and she needs to send a letter to her son who works super far away. Now, as she speaks her words and Yusuf begins to write them down in his beautiful script, tears actually start filling her eyes. The emotion is just so raw and real, and her young grandson just sits there watching in total silence, completely fascinated by the old man's skill. That piece of paper, quite literally carrying a mother's tears, then makes its physical journey across the distance. And you know what? Days later, she receives a joyful reply. She returns to Yusuf's shop, and her face is absolutely lit up with a smile. It is just an incredible moment.
Section 4. The Need to be Understood. The True Value of Yusuf's Craft. So, when that grandmother returned to thank him for helping her reconnect with her son, it completely reinforced everything Yusuf stands for. For him, the simple, profound gratitude of a mother bridging the distance to her child proves that these little moments are worth far, far more than money. He isn't just selling a writing service here. He's facilitating the absolute deepest human need we all share. As the evening sun shines through his dusty shop window, Yusuf puts away his pen and shares this incredible, profound piece of wisdom. He says, "People may forget paper and ink, but they will never forget the feeling of being understood." And honestly, that is the essence of this entire story. The medium itself might become obsolete, but the empathy it carries, that is for sure eternal.
Which leaves us with a final, really important thought to ponder. How are you preserving that feeling of being understood today? Like, in a world completely dominated by instant messaging and our constant rush to communicate faster,
are we actually forgetting to communicate deeper? Take a moment today to consider how you can cultivate that kind of deep empathy and intentional connection in your own life. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I will catch you on the next one.